What's up, everybody? Welcome to the super sad K-pop Kimchi podcast. I'm your host, Justin Turneau, with my co-host, Brian Limper. And to say we are a little bummed is an understatement.
I honestly want to make this last review as professional as possible, but I'm just depressed as shit, so I don't know.
We just finished watching. We waited all day because,
literally we almost waited 24 whole hours to watch this thing.
At this point, almost 24 whole hours. We deleted social media, stayed off everything, didn't see any spoilers about the final girl group, Girl Planet rankings. We stayed off everything, didn't see anything, and we just got done watching it a few minutes ago. We filmed our live reactions. That was super fun. Go check out that whenever it's done, but I don't know. I think my biggest takeaway from this right now is, I don't know.
All I know is,
I don't know.
This is the most, I don't know. I can't even put into words. I'm so sad and just confused.
I have a lot of honest emotions right now.
And betrayed.
A lot of honest emotions about our final lineup. I don't know. I'm not sure what to really feel. Because
I will say, though, it is nice knowing this is the exact same emotions I expected to feel watching this.
Yeah, same here.
After the interim ranking thing, I was not going in this being very skeptical that... not skeptical, but very optimistic that it was going to turn out good.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of was. I was a fool. I set myself out. I was like, you know what? These interim rankings, which, I mean, they weren't exactly spot on, but this doesn't mean anything.
They're kind of close.
I was like, we're going to get a sick group that's completely different than this, because that's how it's been all the other rankings, pretty much. No, I mean, I'd say they stood pretty true. By that, I mean just having so many Korean people in the final group.
I guess, honestly, if I had to sum it up...
The winner was right.
Yeah, I guess, honestly, if to sum it up, everything was cool until number 1 and 2 spots were announced. Then I was like, what the hell is going on?
I don't get it. I mean, we've been vocal on this show just about those two contestants and how we're not necessarily fans of them, which that's our own personal bias, which is totally cool for us to have. We're not super fans of them. Just seeing someone who fell out of the top 9 win the whole thing the last elimination episode, and then see someone
who's never been ranked
in the top 9 at all become number 2. Something just seems a little fishy. I don't know. That's the thing too. Is when the group was announced going into that, I was like, okay. I actually had some people that I really liked a lot. My person who I think who will be my bias is in the group.
It's true.
So you think I'd be overjoyed, and I was. But then we just got up there, and I don't know. Walking away from it, I do not feel good. Right now, I feel sad. And just betrayed, and kind of, what's the point of anything?
I know. What was the point of this whole show? Why do you even go?
Why did we not just debut the Korean people if you were going to do that, And I'm not sure. I don't even know if it was I mean, sure, I'll say it's rigged, whatever, but I almost feel like it was set up in a way that it was a rigging without rigging. Just with these votes in the last couple eliminations and all this stuff. I don't know.
I knew there'd be a big swing in votes when it went to one person voting.
Yeah.
Instead of voting for multiple people or voting for 9 people you want to see debut and stuff, and that was going to really affect it.
Yeah.
But it really swung the pendulum in favor of all the Korean members at that point.
Which was what we saw in the interim ranking, like you said, and that is what held true.
Yep.
We have 6 Korean members, right? 2 Japanese, one
Chinese. Which is crazy because literally if they waited the entire time, like people were saying online, and then all the Koreans voted for the Korean members in the final one, they were just going to destroy everybody.
Yeah.
It's just waited that way. Now, so I guess here we'll go back over the first beginning of the episode.
We'll go through the episode. It was 3 hours long.
It was a long one.
We we didn't partake in the quote unquote live voting when it came out just because we couldn't. We watched a lot of the beginning part, But we kind of like skimmed some parts just because we actually wanted to get to the elimination because we'd been waiting all day. So
yeah, they pretty much did like some creation mission stuff, like did some like dance practices and stuff for the songs.
But we actually watched a lot of it.
Yeah,
though. It was actually really good. I mean, it was cool. Their songs they sang
were good.
Were cool.
Then of course they threw in the little thing where they watched old videos of them before they came on the
all
show.
All the crying stuff, yes.
And like emotional stuff of like all the other members that have been eliminated, like congratulating them or telling them like, keep your head up and work hard. And then they got at another point it showed like a flashback of them having like a little get together, and it had like videos of like their family playing and talking to them, so everyone was crying.
So that's just going to bring the tears, and like, okay, sure.
They had that piano playing.
That piano dude was really getting it out there.
They had the dudes playing the piano at the back end of it.
He earned his paycheck today. Yeah, we kind of
it was all sad and somber before the big reveal.
We watched a lot of like the ones where it was videos of them, but the family ones we kind of just skimmed through just because like. We don't want to see everyone cry, and like we kind of get the gist of it because
we've also seen so many of these. This is what happens every single time.
This is what happens in a lot of just K-pop things, is just getting the emotions going with family stuff. So we're like, okay, let's just skip this. We kind of skimmed through, but we watched most of the beginning part. And it was cool. It was good. I like their songs they did. I mean, the girls.
One song was sick.
The girls are obviously talented, and like elimination shows, they have some super sick last stages before the last people get voted off the island. So that was cool. They had their live voting where those votes counted as double, which again, like,
yep,
who knows what that all like, where the shifts happen there and all that stuff. So, and then we actually got into the elimination. We can just go through the picks.
So they started off with number 8 because of course
naturally.
You can't start off at the last one because that's when everybody wants to see is the last one.
Yes, most important spot.
So the 8th spot was our first foreign member. Well, I guess foreign to Korea, which is a Japanese member.
Correct.
And that was Mishiro.
Mishiro was number 8.
Which wasn't super surprising because she's super popular. So I'm not, like...
Yeah, after that, I wasn't really shocked.
I was kind of shocked she was that low, though.
She dropped down, so I didn't really know what anything meant the whole time, but I was like, okay, Mishiro obviously has been really good on this show. People like her a lot, so I was not surprised she was in the final group.
Yeah.
Mishiro's okay. I like her. Not like crazy about her, but I don't know. Like, she's okay, so.
Yeah, she's cool.
It also took, as we could have guessed, 1,000,000 years for the dude to say the name.
Oh, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
He'd say a bunch of things on how he's going to announce the 8th spot, and then just stare at the camera for an awkward minute. Then it would show the idols or the girls kind of just standing there waiting, and we're like, okay. And then he would give I don't know.
It was weird because there was a whole especially the first one.
Yeah,
there was a whole pause of 5 or 6 minutes where everyone's just standing on the stage, silence,
and dramatic music, and everyone's just staring. And then he said a clue, and then there was another couple minutes of waiting, and then it was Mishiro. So yeah, that was 8. Mishiro was 8. Not necessarily a surprise.
No, I know she was gonna make it. I just didn't.
I figured she would make it. But just her being at 8, I was like, okay, I don't really know what this means for the other people who kind of ranked in those positions the last elimination, Because then the number 7 spot was Hikaru, who also was a top 3 or top 4 member the entire time. And also from Japan. So, again, someone else who we're not surprised is in the final. But having her in the final with Mishiro... Both not necessarily surprising, but it kind of was okay, some people might not be making it now. Because that's already 2 Japanese members. We haven't had any Korean people yet. Yep. So you kind of in your head
this is
not count people out, but you're okay, someone's chances just got a lot less from these other countries. AKA someone Fuya Ning or Suruki or even Yurina. When they announced the 2 Japanese, I was like, oh, crap. I don't know if Yurina's going to make it.
I did read in a lot of places beforehand, throughout the week, that everyone thought that the sacrificial high-ranking person that was going to make it was either going to be Yujin or Yurina. But I figured it wasn't going to be Yujin because she was Korean, so...
Yeah, that was a safe bet.
It's already a leg up because they were going to vote her in anyways.
It kind of I mean, yeah. But, okay, so 6. I was like, wait, what? I just can't even have a straight train of thought right now.
Dude, I'm
still just like shook.
I'm trying to like process what even happened, man. I'm like...
We went to 6, and I'm like, okay, there's still a lot of people left.
Yeah.
And this is when we get our first Korean member, correct?
Yep. It is Kang Yeso.
Yeso made it.
Which is kind of weird to think about because we thought she was good enough to be in the final from the very first episode. Because I remember we put her in our first final lineup prediction.
Yeah, we did, definitely.
But then she kept falling out of the top.
Mm-hmm.
It was never a top 9 member. And you'd always see her every episode, like little bits of her. But she was never like good enough to reach back up into that top 9 area.
She only trended down.
But even she said it. She was like, got an interview. She's like, yeah, I've only been trending down since like the first week. Or first eliminations. And then she was number 6. Which on one hand, I'm not too surprised about because we always said that she was kind of popular and everybody liked her.
It just was, the way it happened was weird.
But it's like...
Was she 12 at the last elimination? Like, not counting the interim one? Like,
yeah, she wasn't very high. And then she came
was like
back
11 or 12.
She was number 6.
And then she came back number 6. And like you said, we thought she would make it. I actually like Yeso a lot. I was happy she made it, but I didn't think she would, honestly, just because of the way. I mean, if you continuously are going down, why would you think they're going to like shoot back up? But she did. I feel like I told you, like, legit, I think she really wanted it throughout the whole show. Not that other girls didn't, but like she was always very kind of like worked up whenever she like would move down, which was every elimination. She was very sad about that. So I was like, she clearly cares about this and like wants to make it. So it was cool to see her make it. But again, it was just kind of a strange jump to me of like, you were only going down and then you're boom up like 6 spots and you're in. Like,
but she has the power of God anime and being Korean on her side.
Yeah,
so that helps.
Yeah. I mean, that's all really what it comes down to, honestly. But I mean, she's really good. We thought she'd be in the final group, and guess what? She is. Yeah. Like, we called that one.
Then number 5 was very surprising, too.
Yeah.
Because it was Youngin.
I was hyped. That's my bias. That's going to be my bias.
When they were describing who it was, I was like, it's going to be Maya.
It was going to be Maya because they're just, like, energetic, playful energy.
Brightens up the room.
Dancing. I was like, well, that's literally been Maya's role the whole time. Is like smile and be super happy, even when she messes up. The judges still love her. Yeah, but it was Youngin, and I was hyped.
That was a good pick. I was excited. I didn't think she was going to make it in the final one, to be honest with you.
I was
because she like barely made it.
Yeah, I just was going off the last elimination, and that was actually like fan accounts for her were some of the ones that I was seeing like. She's fallen out because now everyone's mad about the intern ranking. So the other countries are voting. So the Koreans are voting. So I was like, she was already 9. I was like, I'm not gonna get my hopes too up, but that would be my bias. So number 5, I was super pumped because I mean that's gonna be my bias in the group. So
that was good.
That was my shining moment, and I was very happy with the group. But I was riding high after that. So Youngin made it. Happy about that.
Then we had the first of what was extremely surprising rankings.
Number 4.
That was Kim Daeon.
Daeon was number 4.
Was number 4.
This is when
shit went off the rails.
This is when what is happening? This is when we had no idea what was going on, and then there was that next level of deep darkness of not knowing what's going on, and that was this. Because we thought she was going to win the whole thing.
Like, I thought she was set up the whole time to win, and she got 4th place.
And especially since she literally moved up to, like, 2 behind Shouting. And we're like, 4th? Okay.
I legit was honestly surprised. Like, I was so shocked. I didn't think that was going to happen.
I told you before we started, like, I have no idea what the thing's going to happen with this final. I could probably guess Daeon will be there. That's the only thing, and she was. But 4, never would have guessed that.
I wouldn't have been
Not in a million years. So we were like, okay, what the heck does this mean for the top 3?
I don't know. I was so confused.
And, like, Daeon is, I don't know. She's fine. That's, like, all I can really say. We were not a fan in those, like, kind of end-middle episodes where she was literally the only person they showed. True. And they had the whole spotlight. But if you kind of take that away, she's been fine. Like, I don't have anything against her, whatever. Like, we knew she was going to... It's just one of those things you're like, okay, she's going to be there, so, like, there's no, like, fighting this. So, yeah, Daeon was number 4, who we thought was going to win, so...
That was
obviously
a surprise.
Not a correct guess there.
The number 3 was Yujin. Which, I mean, throughout the show, we thought she'd be a top 3 person, but she never was. So she finally got her rightful spot.
Yujin made it.
Being the third person, be number 3.
She was the third person. We were very hyped about Yujin, or happy for Yujin, just because we've loved Yujin for a really long time now. More than, honestly, most other idols that we like or care about.
I know the Korean votes definitely helped her go up.
Yeah, because she was kind of
like middle.
She was a middle tier toward the end, and that's kind of where we thought she should be. And then she was number 3. Like,
that favoritism, that Korean favoritism.
She finished third overall, and I mean, I don't know. Everything Yujin did in this show never surprised us.
No,
like people got on us about like what we kind of said about her, but it was like, guys, we
aren't even saying anything bad.
We've never said anything bad, but like we've been fans of hers for legit almost like our whole K-pop fandom lives, and like I can only think of a few groups or idols that I've liked longer than her. So everything we know she's literally great, almost perfect at everything. So the fact that she's on this show and killing it and in the final group, not surprising at all.
And she even said it on her little interview thing.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yeah, you're Yujin. You do great. You know why? Because you're Yujin.
She's like, you know why you're going to do great? Because you're Choi Yujin.
And I'm like, yeah, that's
we're
exactly
like, wow,
what
thank you for backing up what we said, Yujin, because that's it. So
we always knew she'd be great. So we knew she was going to, from the beginning, she was going to make it.
Yeah,
after the first episode, we knew she was going to make it.
The day she stepped onto that stage, she deserved to be there, and then proved that she should by her bubble pop dance. It was like, okay, obviously she should be here, but Yujin was number 3.
It's still kind of weird to me to think she's not in CLC anymore, and she's going to be in this group, Kpop, whatever the hell that is.
We can talk about the name in a second, because my gosh, what the heck.
And then
now is the top 2.
This is when I honestly started questioning life.
This is
and if we were living in a simulation, because I just don't understand what happened.
Yeah, if everyone just wants to ruin our lives. Before we heard the top 2 people, how are you feeling about the overall group so far?
Well, I mean, like I said a little
when we
earlier,
had Yujin, Youngun, Yeso,
there's a couple people I was surprised that were there. Like I didn't think Youngun would be there.
Yeah.
I thought Yeso would be there. I didn't think she'd be that high. But
I didn't think Yeso was going to be there just because she was only going down.
Well, I just knew she was like popular from the first one, so I mean,
we were right though.
I was like, sure. I mean, this isn't like the people I would have picked. Maybe like half of them to be there, sure. But
yeah,
I was like, sure, whatever. This is cool.
Yeah, like everyone we kind of knew.
Then we're going to get our power players in the top, and it's going to be fine. And we're going to be like, oh, this is a dope group. Yeah, let me tell you, that did not happen.
Like I was feeling really good, and I was like, okay, I got some people I really like. I got a bias. Now, if we can just round it out with like the all-stars who we've been fans of this whole time, I will like stand this group instantly.
Yep. And then they revealed they always like to put like the top 2 people and be like, oh, one is number 1, the other one's number 2.
Which is
pretty typical for the shows.
And it's dumb. I get being number 1 is, you want to be number 1. But at this point, who cares?
Yeah, it's not
like you're getting any benefit.
Yeah.
You're not getting any trophy. You're not getting anything. Like, you're number 1 and number 2. You're both debuting in Kpop. So, who cares? I don't know. That's what I've kind of thought about.
It sounds like he's like a catcher for like the LA Dodgers.
I was just like the Knights Templar. Isn't that like that?
Matt Kepler.
But like, I always thought it was just so goofy because it's not like, okay, here's 1 and 2 and the other person's eliminated. It's like, oh no, you're number 2. Like, sweet, I'm number 2. I'm debuting.
It's not like Promise 9 when they did that.
Yeah, exactly. That was like actually like, okay, you're winning or you're going home. But so that was, I mean, I always thought that was a little foolish. I know they try to make it dramatic, but I think that's kind of foolish anyway. But the 2 people they had
were Chaeyeon, which I mean,
she was number 1 in the
interim
rankings.
And she's got the SN backing, and Korea loves her. So I mean, sure, whatever.
People have loved her throughout the whole show.
And she's been in the top 9 previously, so I'm like, sure, whatever.
I've seen online people really big fans of her. We never were. We were never really fans of her. She was a singer.
But I mean, she's whatever.
Fine. Yeah, she's just whatever. Nothing. It was her.
It's one of those ones where you can get like a lot of people you like, and you can just deal with the other people.
Exactly. Like I mean,
if I gotta take 6 of the 9 members that I like, and the other 3 are just there, sure.
Seriously, was she in any of our kind of like rankings we ever had? I feel like she was. We just put her in there. We're like, yeah, sure, she can.
Like, I mean, do I care that she was 1, or do I care that she was like 8 or 9?
No, not at all.
In the end, it's like you're part of the 9.
Like, yeah, like we figure you'll be here, so that's fine. Like, I have nothing. Like, you're gonna probably be in this group, so whatever.
Now, the next person they announced, I just made me question everything I ever
Actually,
known.
just
I'm
like,
why did I just waste the last 12 weeks of my life watching this? Like, I just don't understand. And it was freaking Bahiyi.
Number 2. Well, for number 1 or number 2 between them two, and at that point, I was like, I don't know what to think. Like, she's never been in the top 9.
She even said, "Oh yeah, I've never been in the top 9. I've never ranked high. You know, I always thought I was going to get eliminated."
Guess what? You maybe won the whole show. I know that these votes, the way that the voting was, I'm like so sad talking about this.
I can't
I can't even like look because it just didn't make any sense. And I understand people are going to be like, well, the votes and the single votes in Korea, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But like, what has she done more than other people to be possibly the winner of this show? I just haven't seen it. Like, honestly. With Chaeyeon,
like, I'm not saying she hasn't improved since the beginning of the show.
I'm not saying she's even bad.
But she also just hasn't done anything to stick out
like,
and show that she's better.
Like she's
fit to be in the group than anybody else that got
then
eliminated.
Then like most people that still got eliminated, especially the girls that got eliminated in this last episode.
Like a perfect example is there's a couple times when she had a chance where she could have raised her hand and tried to be like, oh, I want to be a main vocalist.
Nope.
Or I want to be like vocal number 2.
Nope.
Or I want the killing part. And what does she do? She just sits there.
Just sits there. Just kind of like
goes with it. Like, sure.
Like
does she deserve to be in the group any more than Maya did?
No. Or I mean, I would have rather picked Maya over her if I had to choose. I'd pick Bora instead of her.
Or even like Suyeon.
Man, I'd probably pick Suyeon instead of her, honestly. Like,
I just don't understand. I mean, I get it. She's popular. Sure.
I've never understood that one because she's always kind of been on the, like, you could just tell when they did, like, the YouTube stuff and, like, she was always, like, dominating that.
Oh, by a lot.
By tons.
I remember when it came to, like, the little performance
everyone.
thing, you had to vote for, like, the OOO performance. She had, like, 100,000 more views than anybody in the first, like, hour. Like, it was crazy. Like, not even close.
Yeah, she just, like, I don't know, just watching the whole show, we know she has a lot of fans, but I was just never that impressed with anything she did. Was she more impressive than Doa?
I don't know. There's just so many things I just don't understand.
I just kind of think back to other trainees that have been in the show.
Like, people like her. I don't understand it. Her brother's in TXT. Maybe that has something to do with it. I just don't understand. I don't know.
We're not saying it was all because of that, but when you have a brother who is a famous idol, that can't hurt. I don't know.
I still just I don't know. It's whatever.
We're not trying to hate. We're just saying what we think, and obviously, we maybe do have personal bias in this. I've never really liked her that much, and when she was announced at number 2, kind of just sank, and I was like, "This is really what we're doing," because it was her and then Chaeyeon, who have kind of not really cared about that much either. I can see Chaeyeon more than her, though. At least she won, I guess. So I was just waiting for them to announce Bahia as the winner, and I'm like, this was the dumbest thing of all time.
Man, when they announced him as top 2, I almost got up and just walked off.
I was like, this is, and I was just like, this, I don't know. And again, like every single pick was like, well, Urina's not making it.
Also, fun fact, that means the top 6 members are all Korean.
Which, you know, we saw coming, I guess.
And then on the 9th member, of course, I had to put like a bunch of people against each other. And you had Shouting, who was number 1 or number 2 the entire show. Every elimination, every time. She was number 1, number 2. Beating Daeon, the freaking juggernaut that's Daeon. Got beat by Shouting, who's a bigger juggernaut.
And we get that there was multiple votes and people had to vote for someone in China, but still...
That was a lot of votes.
That's a lot of votes for being a quote-unquote filler, okay? Like, that's all we're trying to say.
And then she got put up against, of course, 2 other Korean people, Maya and Suyeon. Luckily, Shouting made it as a 9th member. So there was at least 1 Chinese member in the group.
Shouting made it to, like, kind of save face a bit. I mean, at that point, I was almost like, please just announce one of these other people so I can just even be more sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like
I'm already down here. Might as well just kick me when I'm down. That just Shouting doesn't make it, who's been one of our favorite people throughout this whole show. And a dominant force that somehow fell to the last spot. But yeah, Shouting was number 9. I was happy about that because we like Shouting. We love Shouting.
I still was standing firm on the fact that I thought it was going to be 4-3-2 for...
Well, that would have been the best.
The split for the countries.
And
we got 6-2-1. How are you going to call it a global group when you have
It's not. It's
2/3 of it are from Korea?
It's not. It's not. They like made such a big deal about the whole thing being like, this 33. Like everything was so equal, and like I'm not even saying that we need the 333 group, but like when you have one person from China, it's like okay, obviously it was like kind of made to work against them.
Well, no, that there's as many members in this group as there was foreign members in IZ ONE, which is 3.
Yeah. Exactly.
That must just be the magic numbers, 3.
Exactly. It was just, I don't know. I really don't even know because I feel like I can sit there and be like, it's rigged, and I will say that, but then at the same time, like, it was just rigged in an unrigged type of way, just with these votes. Like,
well, the voting definitely swung it in the Koreans' favor.
Yeah.
The kind of evil editing, throwing shade at the Chinese members for the last couple episodes definitely worked against them.
It really just all started with the fall of Taiping, and it was like...
Yeah, I mean,
who looked bad in the episode?
Not saying everybody was perfect, but
no,
they definitely favored the not as happy side of the Chinese members at certain points. Then
when I just remember when Suruki got her bad editing episode, and they showed her like exhaling
and yawning
like 18 times. I was like, okay, obviously we don't want her to look good right now. That's why we're showing her yawn 18 times and look uninterested in the whole thing because she didn't get her part. Like there's a reason you show certain things and it's going to make someone look good or bad, and they're making her look bad. Taiping got that too. Bad.
Also,
Taiping got horrible.
I don't know. I saw a bunch of posts on stuff, and from what I was reading, a lot of the people over there in Korea did not want as many foreign members in the group anyways, so what you gonna do?
It's like, I guess, hey, more power to you kids because you can vote and get these double votes and you have one vote.
Well, I mean, like I said, that's just what's online. I don't know if it's true or not, but
I don't know.
I saw that posted a lot.
Since we literally went like 0 Dark 30 with our social media, so we didn't see any spoilers, we haven't necessarily seen a ton yet of what people are saying. We saw a little bit. Seen a lot of people who are upset, kind of like we were, just about certain things. I don't know. Some people are happy too, because obviously people they wanted to make it did.
But I mean, there's like some really popular members that didn't make it. Urena didn't make it.
I mean, Urena was this like the sacrifice of just like the awesome girl who did nothing wrong that made it all the way to the end. And
then after being kind of high the last couple of weeks, Shauna didn't make it.
Shauna was out.
My would have been biased. Fu Yaning did not make it.
Yeah, that's another thing. It was when they went 8-7 Japanese, I was like, oh boy, this is going to be tough for Fu Yaning.
I don't know. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Just like IZ ONE, just like any other group that was made, maybe or maybe not rigged. It's just that is what it is. We had to live with it.
And like, I can't say...
will I like this group? Will I not like this group? The jury's still out. Because right now, I do not have a feeling either way about them. Like,
I don't either. I don't know. I'm definitely going to try. I can't say I'm like instantly standing them. Definitely not. But I will definitely give them a try and see how their music is. Because again, there are people I do like in this group. But just the people I really didn't like.
Yeah, honestly, Eugen, I don't know. I don't know if I can power through this one.
See, I can never say never just because of our past experiences with K-pop stuff like that. But this one hurts. I feel betrayed. I don't know. I'm just really sad Urena didn't make it. I really wanted Suruki to make it, but after what happened with her episode, like, I didn't think she would, honestly. And then she was 10 on the interim rankings, so I was like, oh, maybe? And it was like, no. And I just kind of feel bad for shouting, too. I don't know.
Honestly, if I was her and I was put that low after being that high all the time, just to be thrown in there, it's what it seems like. To have a Chinese member, I would just be like, I'm not doing it.
I'm actually shocked that she made it.
Pass.
I'm shocked.
Give it to the next person.
Well, I just feel like they
give it to Suyeon.
I just feel like she made it just because they're like, well, look, see, like there's a Chinese member.
Exactly what I'm saying. She's like a thrown in because they need a Chinese member.
And like she was literally such a force and like awesome that they're like, all right, well, we can keep shouting. Like
I just been like, nope. I'm gonna
just put Maya in there.
I'm gonna deny it. Give it to the next person.
Respectfully say no.
But, yep, it is what it is. That's our top 9. That's our final lineup for Kepler or whatever that is.
no idea what the name is. We didn't see what the meaning is. I'm sure it's something.
I'm sure it's somewhere online.
We can ask the stats and info
I just
department
don't care enough to look it up, to be honest.
If they're still awake.
I
don't like the name at all.
I don't either.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It really just set the tone for like what the heck is going on. I don't like the name.
But I will say the one positive that came out of this is that Bora's not going to be in the group, so she can go back to Cherry Bullet.
That's what we were hoping for. Let's just have a nice Cherry Bullet come back tomorrow, okay? Yeah. Let's just have Cherry Bullet come back. Everyone did well on the show. Let's have a Cherry Bullet come back so we can stand Cherry Bullet.
And as sad as we sound, I mean, give it time. Maybe we'll like him.
Yeah, I
just can't.
Cherry's still out, but I
just can't deal with it right now.
I'm just saying how I feel right now, and it's hurt.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited am I for this group to debut and do stuff? Like a 1.
I think I'm
more excited for Eugen to do stuff still than I am the actual group to do anything at all.
I think I'm literally just 5. I'm like, I don't feel high or low. I'm just 5.
I honestly just don't care.
Just 5. Right in the middle.
But
we'll see. I mean, it's just a few different picks. Could have just changed everything. But I guess that's how all things like that work.
Maybe we'll come back here in a little bit and we'll be like, man, they're cool. Their debut was awesome.
Yeah, well, I wonder when they're supposed to debut. Hopefully they're debuting a new name.
I don't know. I don't care enough to look that up either.
Templar. I don't like the name.
But yeah, so that's it. That was episode 12. That's the final one.
That was 12 weeks. That was our first actual survival show that we watched live.
Thanks to everybody that listened.
I just want to know, whoever did it before, is this how it always feels at the end?
I know, right?
Like, yeah. But there's like actually part of me, though, that I'm like, okay, let's just do another one right now. I'm like, let's have another one so I can just get invested and then hurt again.
True. Thanks for everyone who listened. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's literally, go back if you want to listen to the entire show and find out what happened. Just go back to the first episode and listen to our reviews.
We have a lot of episodes on it. Definitely. Check those out and be sure to check out the reaction vid, which will be up sometime whenever. But
it should be up here either later today. Probably Sunday.
Next couple days, reaction will be that you can really see how excited we are for all these picks. But yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Let us know what you guys thought of the final.
That is Girl Planet. Yeah, let us know.
If you like the final lineup or what you thought about the people who won.
That's our favorite thing, is seeing what the people think compared to what we think. So, all right, guys. I'm JT. He's Foggerall. We are the Kpop Kimchi Podcast. That wraps it up for Girl Planet 999. We love you guys, and we'll catch you soon. Peace.
Later.
Okay, I'm gonna be a star. 더 확실한 게